Hey. Hi there. My name is May, and today we're going to be talking about why forcing happiness does not solve depression. But I think this is also can be applied to like any sort of mental illness, like anxiety, like why forcing being calm or why forcing groundedness does not help with anxiety. My mission is to help people who feel hopeless or confused about their healing journey find clarity around what is going on with them so they stop feeling so hopeless and confused and actually know the steps on how to heal and live their life in an authentic and happy way. And today I wanted to talk about why forcing happiness doesn't help with depression, because I think that it is a tactic a lot of us have tried to use in order to deal with our mental illness, me included. And I think it's the most obvious way, maybe the most cultural accepted way to deal with depression, to do things that make you feel happy, make you feel good, like hang out with your friends or realizing doing jobs that you really like if you like your job, just doing things that you enjoy that may cause you even more happiness. Maybe you're growing up partying, drinking, right? Even harder stuff, if that's what you're into, right? And you may feel happy for the time that you are doing these activities, right? But then eventually when you're alone or after a while, it starts to creep back up. Depression starts to come and you start feeling down about life, and you may go into like hermit mode, you're depressed and not liking life. The cycle again of like rebirth and going out, and maybe you're like doing fun things and being with people. And then depression comes back and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna go inside and not speak to anyone for 3 weeks. You can really feel like you're on a roller coaster when you're trying to deal with your depression this way, right? Like pushing a boulder up a hill. Maintaining that happiness and daily life and trying to balance all of that can feel very difficult and like basically impossible, because you're trying to reach towards the life that you're trying to live, but you keep getting pulled back in by this deep dark depression that is ruining your life. It's like getting sucked into this black hole that you just can't get out of. You have to claw your way back out of that hole, because depression is big and it is so hard to deal with, especially when you're in the weeds of it. We're not taught how to deal with our emotions when we were younger. Maybe you had a household, family that teach people emotional regulation, but very often in society, we are taught to say that doesn't exist. That is something you deal with in private. What even is depression? I don't even know, right? But this doesn't work with mental illness and depression. Just trying to live your life as if you don't have it. You know, it can work for a time, and it can, when you're doing that, feel like empowering even, and have you feel good for a bit. It still also kind of feels like we're in two worlds, right? We have this world where we're pretending it doesn't exist. We're going out and living life the way we want to live it. And then we go home in our times of slowing down, we feel that deep dark depression. We feel life isn't good. They're not coexisting together. I know when I went home, and basically it was like when I was out and about anywhere, I was like, happy-go-lucky, hi guys! Oh my gosh, I laughed so hard, haha. Then I would go home and I would just like literally stare at my ceiling for hours and feel like life was very depressing. And like I couldn't move. I think it's a strategy people employ because we just don't know any other way, right? You know, we're seen on TV and media, like, go do some, like, shopping. Oh my gosh, what is it called? Shopping mental health care, shopping whatever. Girl math, I don't even know. I'm not gonna lie. You know, spa days, whatever, self-care. Like, that actually isn't how we deal with it. Even if we had like all the money in the world, again, it would still be this cycle. I'm not talking about basic needs, okay? I'm not talking about having all our basic needs met. We're living in a society of scarcity. That does cause mental illness. I'm talking about like having way past your means. There are plenty of people who live in luxury who also feel very unhappy about their lives. And that's because mental illness does not discriminate, honey. Mental illness is something we all deal with. Or not all of us, but it's something that a lot of us deal with. So it feels like this roller coaster of like trying to live this ideal life while also being sucked into the life you don't want. Like, at least we have some relief. At least we have something that feels good sometimes. So like, what is the answer then, May? What have you been trying to say? So I think that if this is something that you've been trying to force something in your healing journey that isn't working, it's because it's not what you need. It's not what you need to do in order to progress on your healing journey. We're trying to create something where there just isn't. Instead of learning how to cope with the experience, we're trying to get out of it. Right? We're trying to distract ourselves. If we're social and we're happy, we're not feeling that depression. If the depression comes, we're just gonna skirt around that. You know? We have to learn how to lean into the positivity without forcing it. It's like we're trying to put a screw into a hole where that screw is the wrong thing for that hole. And we're really trying to jackhammer it in. We're trying to, you know, get that shit in there. It's not working. Because that's not the nail, okay? You're not hitting the nail on the head, okay? You're not hitting the nail on the head. And this is why we feel like we can do so much and have such a little process, because we're trying to force it. And I'm not gonna lie, when you try to sit with yourself and you don't try to force anything, it can feel like it sucks. And it can feel embarrassing and honestly really scary sometimes to be in a group of people and allow yourself just to feel that depression and not react to it, not run away, not shut down. Like, I really just try to let my depression be. And I might even name it to people. I might just be like, I'm with someone and they'll like see an energy shift in me and I'm like, sorry, I'm just feeling really depressed right now, but like it has nothing to do with you, and like I'm still really happy to be here with you. I'm just also really feeling this depression. So we have to sit with it, really sit with it. And what that really means is not reacting to our internal experiences, right? Like not trying to push it, not trying to pull it. We're just sitting, or maybe we're just moving around too. That's fine too. But even if we are doing that, we're not trying to push or pull or do anything with the emotional, even physical experience that's going on. We're just letting it be, right? And then we decide what we want to do in order to cope with that experience. Maybe not fall down the stories in our brains, or not collapse into laying in bed for hours or days. And sometimes it's like an all-day affair, if I'm being honest, like trying to sit with your emotions. Because sometimes it can almost feel like you have to touch the emotion or experience and pull back, and then go a little bit deeper and pull back. This is something that Peter Levine talks about in somatic experiencing when people who have experienced trauma. Sometimes that's all you can really do is touch the wound, even very, very softly, and then pull back, right? And then you go in deeper, pull back, you go in deeper. And that's the body's natural way of trying to process what's happening. Instead of resisting depression, I feel it. And then when things lessen, or if they even don't, it's like, how can I invite that happiness in, right? Maybe I go out and I'm just like, maybe I still feel really shitty, honestly, when I go out. And that's okay. It's like that my body is trying to process through it. It's going to move eventually. You are eventually going to feel something different, right? Even if it's only subtle, like very subtle, you're going to feel something different, or in addition to the depression, right? That is just how the human body works. That is just how emotions work, right? They change. There's an ebb and a flow to it. It really is like the more you resist it, the harder it's gonna come back. And we have to try to learn to be more in the middle, rather than on like reacting to depression or reacting to happiness, or going deep into depression and leaning deep into happiness, right? When we're trying to be in the middle, we are able to really choose how we react. And we're not trying to feel good in the moment, okay? We're trying to actually lean into feeling uncomfortable and feeling sad. Because the more we're able to lean into it, the more we're able to actually process through it. This is really something that I wish providers knew, right? It's like, we're trying to lean in. We're trying to like cope through. We're not trying to push away or use a coping skill to get the fuck out of depression. We're trying to work through the depression. We're trying to weave through the shit. And then eventually, you know, the shit comes back. We have to weave through it again. But that's the process, right? That's the work. And then we deal with our reactions to having to weave through that shit, right? We have to deal with our reactions to having these mental and emotional health experiences. I can't even tell you how many times I got mad or really sad at the fact that I have to do this work every single day. Are you fucking kidding me? Why don't I just use drugs and be happy for a little while? And then, but again, then it's just the roller coaster, right? Now I feel like I'm in a time in my life where I really have peace, right? Like I have moments of peace. I never had moments of peace when I was going through this. It just felt like turmoil all the time, to be honest. Just like a roller coaster. Like maybe there were like little times of like, oh, I'm peaceful, but like most of the time it was a lot. I've done this work to a point where I'm able to lean into the things I want rather than the things that I don't want. You know, that doesn't mean the experiences aren't there. It just means like I'm able to deal with them a lot better. And I literally almost ended my life multiple times because of not being able to accept this work, because I have a lot of stuff going on, okay? Yeah, I almost ended my life multiple times because this work is hard. This work fucking sucks sometimes. But when I leaned into doing this work, when it was accessible, it gave me the results that I was looking for in the long term. This work is long term. This is a long game. This is not the short game, right? And we want the now. What is gonna help now? What is gonna make me feel better? that's not always what we could do. That's not always the best path forward. Sometimes it's that long game where we see those little gains over time. So please like and subscribe if you got something out of this video and want to keep seeing content about mental health and how to do the work and how to actually like be happy and have a fulfilling life with depression or anxiety or trauma or whatever it is that you deal with. So thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Mwah! I was having such a great time with this person before. I know it's not a reflection of this person or this whatever this is because transformation is legit possible and legit, not legit, it's legit and legit and